Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the JSE that just closed. The JSE trading relatively flat for most of the day. We'll see what is happening right now. But in kind of the economic landscape, we are seeing the G20 meeting taking place in Durban. From today, it is a two-day meeting, so the last day will be tomorrow. So we do have the finance ministers and central bankers meeting. The all share has managed to climb into green territory, up by almost 1/3%. That largely being carried by the Resources 10 complex that's eked out a gain of almost 0.5%. Financial 15 popping by almost 0.4%, and the Industrial 25 ticking up by almost 0.25%. Let's take a look at what is happening in the U.S. markets. And of course, we do have mixed signals coming from U.S. President Donald Trump. Earlier on in the week, he had said it had seemed that from an Oval Office meeting that he would be moving to fire Fed Jerome Powell, but now saying that anything could happen, but it is highly unlikely that he will fire Fed Jerome Powell. Looking at economic data on the labor market, we did have a little bit of good news. 7,000 less people filing for unemployment benefits last week, and also retail sales for June are surprising to the upside. S&P 500 up by, I didn't even read those out. S&P 500 up by almost 0.4%. Tech heavy Nasdaq leading those gains, climbing by 0.7%, and the Dow with an uptick of more than 0.25%. Now moving on to the markets across the Atlantic. Those markets also seeing optimism there, with the CAC 40 leading those gains. The DAX leading those gains, up by almost 1.5%. The CAC 40 climbing by more than 1%, and the FTSE 100 with an uptick of more than 0.5%. Let's take a look at the currency scene and start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. The rand remaining relatively stable against the US dollar, above 17 rand 80 against the greenback. The local unit against the pound at 23 rand 92, and against the euro at 20 rand 68. Let's check in on the other currency pairs, starting off with the euro dollar at 1.15, pound dollar at 1.34, and the yen just below 149 against the US dollar. A little bit of weakness coming through there.